Brought to you by Online Invent, websites, digital marketing and custom software. And with thanks to these great community supporters.
Hello everybody, and you can wake up now. It's over. Bathurst is over. Everybody can wake up. It's all right. Don't worry about it. Yes, Bathurst, we're running a bit late tonight on the program because we've all been fast asleep since Sunday, but we'll talk about that a little bit later on in the program. The biggest race meeting of the year, of course, at least as far as local racing is concerned, the Bathurst 1000. We'll have all of the news behind the scenes in just a moment. Joining us a little bit later on in the program, coming up, another major event, one of the oldest events of its kind in Australia, the Australian Hillclimb Championship is happening out at Bryant Park in a couple of weeks' time. And we're going to be joined, Reece Yeomans is going to join us tonight to talk about all about the Australian Hillclimb Championship. Also, a little bit later on in the program, live music, but of course, we're going to be joined by our friends FIREROOTS, and they're going to be joining us a little bit later on in the program. But right now, alongside me, Doc, what your opinion of Bathurst?
Well, I'm not on fire. I'm glad the FIREROOTS are here later on tonight, so looking forward to that.
We need waking up, that's for sure.
Not like the fire engines we usually have, but I thought it was good for the purist. I didn't think it was as bad as everyone slammed, because they just want to see smashes, crashes and bashes. But for the purist, it was really good, because you got to see what the cars were capable of with the tyres.
We got to see what one car was capable of.
Yeah, well, in the obviously to poor Matt Payne put in the wall, but but also the car speed, the drivers themselves and what they were there, the strategies, all the way, and they set a record under 6 hours for the first time. So it wasn't that bad. For the purist, there was a lot to take out from.
Incidentally, we will be talking more on that a little bit later this week. If you join us on Full Course Yellow, Thursday night at 8:30 live, you can have your say. You can ask us questions. Doc will be there. Pete will be there. Mark Jones, our mate in Queensland, he liked it. He thought it was a great race.
He was running a commentary a whole day. He couldn't help himself. The commentator's curse came straight out.
That's it. Hey, speaking about the Bathurst 1000, let's find out what happened there. Let's check out the In Pit Lane Motorsport News.
Bathurst 1000 is Australia's biggest local motorsport event. This year's race was watched by a nationwide TV audience of over 4 million people, putting it on par with both the NRL and AFL Grand Finals. The 1,000-kilometre race around the mountain can always be guaranteed to provide plenty of excitement, drama and unpredictable action. But this year, Brodie and Todd Hazelwood and the Erebus team soon put an end to that.
Starting from pole, Kostecki led into the first corner ahead of a fast-starting Brock Feeney. And from then on, apart from scheduled pit stops, was never headed. Ably backed up by co-driver Todd Hazelwood, the team seemed always to be in control, and even a late race safety car, the only one of the day, had little impact. Feeney and Jamie Whincup came home in second place but had no answer to Kostecki's domination. It was a podium clean sweep for the Camaros, with the Sandown 500 winning pair of Will Brown and Scott Pye finishing third. Despite fears of engine unreliability, the Fords suffered no mechanical failures, with the only DNF of the day coming when Matt Payne hit the wall. The Tickford Racing Mustang of Cam Waters and James Moffat was the first Ford home in fourth place. Kostecki's dominant performance showed that with the right motivation and equipment that he's still a force to be reckoned with in local supercar racing. A reminder that no doubt will bring a smile to the faces at Dick Johnson Racing, where Kostecki will race next year.
Honestly, I can't believe it. This guy here did a stellar job the whole weekend. I knew we had a fast car. We just didn't quite chase it enough there towards the end, but George tuned it up for the end there and just had enough to stay in front of Brock. So just big thank you to the whole team, Chicos. They come on board for this round, and I dare say they got their coverage. So yeah, I just can't believe it. Yeah, just like to thank the whole crew on my side and also on car 9, and yeah, George, my engineer, and Tom, from the other car. I just can't believe it. I'm just in awe at the moment.
An unfortunate postscript to the dominant Erebus performance after a team engineer and his partner were allegedly assaulted by a group of 3 men in the heart of Bathurst following the race. Bathurst police are investigating the incident, which took place out the front of the Oxford Hotel, a popular after-race drinking spot in the town, which I have never ever heard of. Brodie revealed on 7 Sunrise program that an incident had occurred, leaving a crew member and his partner hospitalised. One of our crew members was unfortunately attacked last night. It's really disappointing and really put a spoil on the evening, he said. The attack comes after the arrest of a man on Friday after 2 alleged assaults at the mountain on Friday night. Police charged the man with assault occasioning actual bodily harm, 2 counts of common assault, intimidation and resisting police officers in the execution of their duty.
Disgraceful. As celebrations continue for this year's winning team, last year's winner, Shane Van Gisbergen, had a busy weekend in his new home of the United States of America. Shane again showed his speed on road circuits with pole position in both the Xfinity Series and the main Sprint Cup at Charlotte. Unfortunately, things didn't go to plan as he'd hoped, though, as well in the races, with a 3rd place in the Xfinity race, putting the Kiwi driver out of the series playoffs. Things didn't go any better in the main game either.
Started from pole on the Charlotte Roval and led early, but his chances for a win took a big hit, literally, after he was turned around by Carson Hocevar at the hairpin. The spin dropped SVG all the way back to 23rd place. He recovered to finish in 7th spot. Kyle Larson took the win to advance into the final round of 8. Van Gisbergen will get another chance in the Sprint Cup this weekend with a race at Las Vegas. Justin Ashley moved into the top fuel points lead on Sunday at the Texas Motorplex, holding off Clay Milligan in the final round of the 39th annual Texas NHRA Fall Nationals. The Motorplex continued to bring out the best in defending funny car world champion Matt Hagan, who won for the 2nd consecutive year in Dallas for Tony Stewart Racing, defeating Ron Capps in the finals. In Pro Stock, Jed Coughlin Jr. got the better of longtime rival Greg Anderson in the championship round, picking up his first win in Texas in more than 20 years after slipping past Anderson. It was another dominant weekend for Pro Stock motorcycle points leader Gage Herrera, who won for the 2nd year at Texas after defeating rival Matt Smith in the final round. The win was Herrera's 20th career victory, reaching that milestone faster than any other competitor in NHRA history.
Such a thing, and a tire lockup for the 01.
And victory to Cadillac as the team of
Lights
Sebastian Bourdais, Renger Van der Zande and Scott Dixon
Why didn't you
came
tell me
back
about
from
the
a
magic
miserable early
switch 10
race
laps
to
ago?
win
Now
the
he's down to
annual
1.
Petite Le Mans at Road Atlanta.
Can he hang on?
In their final race with Chip Ganassi Racing, there was some last-minute drama as the lead car lost its headlights completely with under 5 minutes to go. But the lights came back on shortly thereafter, and despite working only intermittently, avoided the black flag long enough to take the win. Porsche Penske Motorsports finished 2nd and 3rd, the number 6963 finishing ahead of the number 7 car. But that 3rd place finish was enough to give Dane Cameron and Felipe Nasser, aided by Australia's Matt Campbell in the endurance races, the GTP Championship. Jordan Pepper in the Iron Lynx Lamborghini held off a charge by Daniel Serra in the Rizzi Competizione Ferrari to take the GTD Pro victory for himself, Frank Pereira, and DTM star Mirko Bortolotti. DDS Racing Orica drivers Stephen Thomas, Mikael Jensen and New Zealand driver Hunter McElrea dominated LMP2. The Riley Motorsports car of Gar Robinson, Felipe Fraga and Australia's Josh Burden finished 2nd. And remember, if you'd like to catch up and discuss the latest news in the world of motor racing, then join us every Thursday night at 8:30 live for Full Course Yellow. It's a general motorsport chat session where you're invited to submit your questions, make your comments, have your say. We're live at 8:30 Australian Eastern Standard Time every Thursday night on the In Pit Lane YouTube channel and Facebook page.
Yeah, it'll be a big night this Thursday night at 8:30, so make sure you're joining us live. Now, when we come back, we're going to be joined by our special guest, Reece Yeoman, to talk about the Australian Hillclimb Championship, and coming up a little later, live music from our band tonight, FIREROOTS. Don't go away. We'll be right back.
Get the phone ringing for your business with website development and SEO services from Online Invent. Visit onlineinvent.com.au.
Yes, and if you're looking to take your online presence to the next level, make sure you check out our friends at Online Invent, led by local motorsport enthusiast Roy Ellery. Not only is Roy a whiz at web design and SEO and digital marketing and graphic design and all those sorts of things, he's also a great supporter of us here on In Pit Lane. Roy's dedication to community media and, of course, his passion for grassroots motorsport truly sets him apart, so you know that you'll be talking with somebody that speaks your language and understands the needs of local small business. So look, do us a favour and contact Online Invent to drive your digital success. Visit onlineinvent.com.au and get started today. And once again, we thank Roy and Online Invent for keeping In Pit Lane on the air for this season. Well, coming up right now on the program is our band FIREROOTS. They can be reached at FIREROOTS Music on all the regular social medias, and they'll be playing Saturday the 2nd of November at our friends at the Mr. Boogeyman Bar with Prom Night and the King's Poet. On November the 14th, they're going to be playing at the Bad Decisions Bar
That's
in
2 weeks
Fitzroy.
in a row.
2 weeks in a row. Must get down to the Bad Decisions Bar. Sounds like a good decision to go.
Let's make a good decision between the two of us.
And they're going to be back there by Little Shogun, Contact Sport, and wait for this, Westall 66. Oh, we'll tell you all about that later. If you don't know the story about Westall 66, look it up in your Funkin' Wagnalls.
Anywhere near Westall Station.
But right now, here is FIREROOTS with Victoria. FIREROOTS.
I used to think I knew a lot, but I used to be so comfortable. What I thought was like a greatest on the block, like a good preaching the song. My rules got rocked. I didn't know this would never be the same. It was about to change. Here's what I needed all along. If for you, expect your Lord. Conquering my heart to make me feel like I can fly. This feeling is where you see your books and more. Listen to 1,000 songs. I could learn nothing. Forever since you came around, the song is challenging my heart. And I can see the world brand new light. You were the master best. You strike the blade. Will we protect you with my life? If I expect your life, conquering my heart to make me feel like I can fly. This feeling is immense to me for you. Expect your life, conquering my heart to make me feel like I can fly. No puedo esperar to have you in my arms. No tardes en llegar to come as a morning light. I'm here for you. Expect your love. Conquering my heart to make me feel like I can fly. This feeling is meant me for you. Expect your life. Conquering my heart to make me feel like I can fly. This feeling.
There we go.
Oh, that was FIREROOTS.
Well done,
If that
guys.
didn't wake you up after Bathurst, nothing will.
No, I was going to say it'll put some fire where it doesn't shine either.
And though FIREROOTS will be back a little bit later on in the program to take us out as well. Remember, if you like any of the bands who come on the program, any of the music at all, get out there and see it live. That's what it's all about, people. You've got to get out there and you've got to watch bands. You've got to keep them going, because one day they might disappear altogether.
One
There's
day
so much talent.
One day they'll be taken over by Live
Nation. Live Nation will come in and screw them over.
Don't get me started tonight.
Pack 'em
That's all right.
anyway.
That's all right. We're going to be out by 11.
We certainly have, which reminds me that we will take a quick break as well. I sort some things out in at the control room, and when we come back, we'll have more of In Pit Lane, including our guest, Reece Yeomans, to talk about the Australian Hillclimb Championship coming up in a couple of weeks at the Bryant Park in Yallourn. Don't go away, we'll be right back. Well, it's a busy time ahead in the world of local motorsport coming up. We've got the Sandown Historics coming up in a couple of weeks' time. We've got the Victorian State Circuit Racing Championship coming up out at Calder Park. But also coming up, we've got one of the oldest motorsport events in Australia, one of the longest running championships going back many, many years. It's the Australian Hillclimb Championship. It's not always in Victoria, but this year it is, and it's out at Bryant Park out in Yallourn Way. And to join us tonight to talk about all of the things that you might see out at the Hillclimb Championship from the Gippsland Car Club is Reece Yeomans. Reece, welcome to In Pit Lane.
Thank you for having me. Appreciate it.
Now let's talk about it. It's the history of brief history of the championship. I mean, it does go back a long, long way, doesn't it?
Yeah. And, funnily enough, we had the presentation for the Victorian Hillclimb Championship on Saturday at the MG Car Club club rooms in Nuttawading, and they brought out the first trophy, which is about that big. And I'm sure it was 1936, the first year, and obviously been running since then. I don't know if there was a pause.
You guys have been running since about 1962, 64 or something
The
like
club
that?
itself?
Yeah.
Yeah, so it'll be 60 years this year, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah, 64 was the first year of the club.
Fantastic, yeah.
So we've held it 9 times.
So how important is it for a club like the Gippsland Car Club? I mean, you're sort of a regional club and all the rest of it. How important is an event like the Australian Hillclimb Championship?
It's a good opportunity to present yourself, I suppose, on a national scale. We get a lot of interstaters come down. We put a fair bit of effort into our property at Bryant Park and our track, and yeah, we hope those that come and visit to have a good time. And
Working bee this Saturday, I
Yeah, of
saw.
course,
Yeah,
yeah,
so all hands on deck this week down
Yeah.
there if you're in the Gippsland area. But it's not just this weekend, just for a working bee, just to clean and mow some whippersnip and cut some grass. A lot of effort's gone into it behind the scenes for a long time, hasn't it?
yeah, the Bryant Park's been there since 2008. So yeah, obviously we had Morwell before then, and yeah, we run good 8 or 9 of our own hill climbs, plus we have a heap of hires, so it's consistent work to maintain a venue.
And the beautiful
volunteers.
thing about Bryant Park out there is that you've got a number of different layouts that you can run.
Yeah.
So what layout will they be using for the championship?
So we'll be using clockwise figure 8, which we haven't used for an Australian Hillclimb Championship before, which is good.
And that gives everybody a chance. I mean, it's one of those places that you can go and you can park your car up on as the name implies, it is on a sort of a hill in a hilly area.
Yep.
It's basically in a natural amphitheatre. So you can basically park your car on the side of the track, and you can look out, you can see the whole track laid out in front of you.
Yeah, correct. And we'll have all spectators parked originally in the southern car park, which realistically is probably the best viewing point up there. You can see the majority of the track except right down the back for about 20 metres or so. And then obviously from there you can walk around through to the pits and you can access about 85% of the outside of the track, and you know from here to the straightaway.
Let's get to the nitty gritty of it. You almost got a capacity. I think it's 90 plus competitors. You're going to cram them all in all weekend. It's going to be lots of fun. Give us some of the cars and the names that will be probably have entered, and we'll be putting everything on display that day.
We've got the past 2 Australian Hillclimb champions, which is Dean Ty and Dean Amos. Dean Amos won it last year, Ty the year before, as well as local guys, Brett Hayward, Greg Eklund, who have both won it in the past as well. So their open wheel is probably the top 4. Alan Foley as well in the open wheeler. We've also got Mike Barker, who has recently won his first Victorian Hillclimb Championship this year, and Dave Marn, who has won it, I'm going to say 3 times.
Yeah.
So,
it's stellar field, isn't it? It's going to be full on, like, it's going to be the rivalry. It's going to be incredible, isn't it?
Yeah, it should be really good. And there's a lot of those guys who, well, other than the guys that run the Vic series, most of those guys haven't run on the figure 8 layout before. So
the good thing, of course, and we've mentioned this with hill climbs before when we talked about it, is it is one, along with say sports now, it really is the last bastion of genuine ingenuity in terms of with cars like we're seeing behind us right now. They're basically home built spares. It's like the good old days of racing where people sort of sketch things out on a napkin somewhere. And and people can go up and have a close-up look, and they can actually talk to the people who built those cars.
Yeah, correct. Both Greg and Brett have built their cars. The Dean's, Dean Amos is in a Gould, which has come from the UK, and I think...
And they are really the state of the art, aren't they? The Gould
correct.
In England, that is the car to have in hill climb racing.
Yeah, there's a big difference in terms of the way they're built, but they all end up about the similar weight and similar power because they all run the similar motorcycle engines. Dean Ty's got a turbo bolted to his, which is probably an advantage.
And Dean's cars are always turned out spectacularly.
Yeah, he always looks good. He came down.
Extra chamois on those. Don't be so modest yourself. You've got a few records as well, though, too. Maybe not on this particular course, though, this week. But you had a quick look at your socials. It's fantastic to see. It's very affordable membership, which we'll get into in a second. But something I actually looked at, you don't see these days too, Brett and Reese. They've actually got their 2025 calendar up already for next year. And you don't see too many clubs getting organised like that before. So compliments to the crew behind the scenes. Yeah,
John Bryant looks after the calendar. Who's obviously Bryant Park's named after John. Any of the events that we know are going to be in 2025, we always start that nice and early. Our club calendar will probably be worked out in the end of December, January. We'll fit in around everything else and then, hit
We'll find out more about that in just a moment. We'll also give you the good news if you want to see the Hillclimb Championship as well, just exactly where you can go and how much it's going to cost. And we've got some good news for you there as well. But right now, we're going to take a break here on In Pit Lane. When we come back, more with our special guest, Reese, and also our band, FIREROOTS. Don't go away. We'll be right back.
Get the phone ringing for your business with website development and SEO services from Online Invent. Visit onlineinvent.com.au.
Awesome.
Yes, now look, motorsport fans, a huge thank you for tuning in every week to In Pit Lane on Channel 31 Melbourne and of course here on the In Pit Lane YouTube channel. Look, to keep bringing you the latest from the track, we really do need your support, however. For as little as $1 a week, one measly dollar, you can help keep us on the air through our Patreon page at patreon.com/The Pit Crew. Also, if you're a business, consider joining our Platinum supporters for just $25 a month. Your logo will appear on screen every week here, both on Channel 31 and online. And once again, to all of those people who are supporting us at the moment, thanks for that support. Let's keep the engine running. We'd love to be able to come back next year, but we really do need your support. Okay, everybody, we're going to take a break in a second, and we're going to come back with more from our guest, Reese Yeoman, and, of course, more music from our friends, FIREROOTS. Don't go away. We'll be back in just a second. Welcome back to In Pit Lane, the post-Bathurst edition. Are you awake yet? Now, coming up in a couple of weeks' time is the Australian Hillclimb Championship, and Rhys Yeoman from the Gippsland Car Club is with us once again. And Rhys, I mean, a big national championship is a one-off sort of event. Where is the track, first of all? How can people get there? People coming from Melbourne or Geelong or anywhere sort of in the sort of metro area, where do they go? How do they get there, first of all?
Yeah, so you'll wander down the Monash for about an hour and a half from the city, and you'll pop out on Bill Schultz Drive or Road, and there we are. So just up behind Moe there in your lawn, usual Google finds everything there. So.
Plenty of accommodation, plenty of places.
Yeah,
to
plenty
stay
of places
around
in
there.
Moe and Morwell. So I assume plenty of things are booked up these days, but you might be able to find a tree to sleep under.
Now, people go to what about action? Now, I understand there's practice on even Thursday. There's going to be something.
Yeah, so if we're running from the 24th to the 27th, untimed practice the Thursday, 24th, time practiced on the 25th, and then competition Saturday, Sunday, starting from 10 on Thursday and 9 a.m. from the other days.
Question for you, Brett. What day are we going to do our track walk, mate? Yeah, I was going to say.
I've done enough.
You ducked down the last one at Rob Roy, exactly.
I've done enough climbing of hills.
He's joining me at Bryant Park. He somehow disappeared. He had to go.
We will certainly try. We will certainly hope to be out there with a camera to bring you highlights of the event here on In Pit Lane.
But entries pretty.
Yeah, it's going to be fantastic. And if you want to go along, Rhys, what sort of loan do people need to take out in order to get there?
Yeah, so entry is free for spectators.
Really?
Which, we're really doing just to make it as
accessible.
Accessible and available for anyone, because hill climbing, despite we've spoken about the fast guys, it's very accessible grassroots motorsport. So you've got guys running in stock Honda Jazzes and things like that. So you want people to come and have a look and see and go, well, actually, I can do that in my car, my road car.
The field you mentioned before, there's names and cars and things left, right and centre.
Yep.
Free access all weekend. All you got to do is just 2-minute noodles and a motel room, or pitch a tent at the local caravan park. You can have a cheap weekend, and it's just absolutely brilliant.
Yeah, no, I think it's good, and hopefully we get a good crowd and support.
And also you've got the cafe there is fantastic, because you can sit on there's a balcony there, and you can look out over the whole of the track. It's a fantastic venue.
Yeah, so we've got our canteen open Saturday and Sunday. We'll have some food vans there over the 4 days. Good food, good local businesses that are worth supporting. So what you save on entry fee, buy
and of course, Gippsland famous for the food, the East Gippsland region. Now, tell us quickly, the Gippsland Car Club, as you mentioned, and if people go along and they say, hey, I'd like to do this, this seems like fun, how do people get involved? Where do they go to find more information?
Obviously, a search on Facebook will bring our page up, but gippslandcarclub.com.au is our website. We've got our calendar there, obviously, which you've seen already, membership details, as well as details on how to enter our
You're
events.
pulling the lid on too?
For the event?
Yeah.
Yeah, of course. Yeah. I'm not doing all this work for nothing.
So there's an ulterior motive, you say?
Track upgrades just for the president. Free.
In fact, there's the car right there. Speaking of, there it is.
Yeah, you go. You're doing hot laps? You going to take anyone for a ride?
I don't think we've got time considering the numbers, but we might be able to work something out.
I'll bring my lid too, just in case.
Hey, listeners, it is a great venue. It's a great day out. It's a really sort of relaxed day out. If you don't want to spend too much money, I mean, take a packed lunch. We've done that before.
Yeah.
Richard and Outram, we went round. Heather packed a lunch for it, and we had a wonderful day.
We're just going to pray to the weather gods, and then
let's hope so.
That's what will be a cracker.
Okay, Rhys, thanks for coming in, and it's the date again. It's
24th to 27th at Bryant Park.
At Bryant Park. Okay, thanks a lot for joining us, and good luck with the Australian Hillclimb Championship.
Thank you.
Now, closing us out tonight is our band FIREROOTS. They're going to be playing at the Mr. Boogeyman Bar along with Prom Night and the King's Poet on November the 2nd. They'll also be playing November 14th at the Bad Decision Bar in Fitzroy with Little Shogun, Contact Sport and Westall 66. They can also be found at FIREROOTS Music on all the socials. But right now, coming out is their new single. It's called Leave You Behind. This is FIREROOTS. Leave You Behind. Good night.
Yeah, yeah. you broke. You got it to think that there's no sign of hope. It's starting to fade. Well, I need to see you. Where do I smile? I want to be there for you, but it isn't hard giving up. 'Cause I want to, but I don't have the strength left to argue with the voice that screams inside. Me to leave you behind. Been asking around, but no one knows and knows. I'm starting to think that you're some sort of ghost. You're starting to fade. Well, I need to see you. Where do I spiral? I want to be there for you, but it doesn't feel right. Giving up, 'cause I want to, but I don't have the strength left to argue with the voice that screams inside, telling me to leave you behind. Giving up, 'cause I don't want to, but I don't have the strength left to argue with the voice that screams inside, telling me I can ever feel that there has been a fracture inside the bones of where we have. Maybe there's another reason for your action, and it's not my fault. I never giving up, 'cause I don't want to, but I don't have the strength left to argue with the voice that screams inside. Giving up, 'cause I don't want to, but I don't have the strength left to argue with the voice that screams inside. Y me pide dejarte atrás. Siento que ha habido una fractura dentro de los huesos de esta relación. A lo mejor no tengo la culpa de esto, solo el tiempo da